Well, good evening, friends. Dennis LaRue here, your weekly wingman with your hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week, episode 37. But before we get into the quote, I want to wish everybody out there, all you dads, happy Father's Day. I hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great day relaxing, grilling, chilling, whatever it is you do on Father's Day. I hope you had a great one. So this week's quote is embedded into a story from my childhood. Hey, Melanie, glad you're here. And so I'm going to take you back just a few years and tell you about the neighborhood that I grew up in. I grew up in Arlington, Texas during my formative years. From the ages of about 6 to 15, I grew up in Arlington. So in my neighborhood, when I first got there, I was one of the youngest kids, one of the smallest kids, and we loved playing sports in our neighborhood. We played football, baseball, basketball, you name it, we played it. Well, we're in football season, okay? So my story takes us back to football season. And being the smallest kid playing football, we'll just say you didn't touch the football very much if they thought that you couldn't play. And so here it is, I'm playing football, and the quarterback goes back for a pass. And he's looking, hey, Mom. And he's looking, and he throws the ball my way. Now, I'm a little kid, and I see it coming, and I can tell right away, this ball, I'm going to have to jump for this one. It's not coming right at me. It's not a perfect pass. I'm going to have to work to get this one. So I reach up, and I'm stretching, and I jump, and I time it, and I feel the ball hit my fingers, and I dropped it. I dropped the pass. And I'm going back to the huddle. And I said to the quarterback, who was older than me, I said, hey, you threw it too high. I couldn't catch it. And I'll never forget. Here's our quote. I'll never forget these words as long as I live. The quarterback said to me, he said, LaRue, if you can touch it, you can catch it. That's our quote. If you can touch it, you can catch it. And I remember that moment. I remember the lights going on. I remember the ding, the click. Now, I was just a young kid. I couldn't explain all that back then. But all I know is it made me hungry. And it got me fired up. And there was doubt being the smallest kid in the group and a little insecurity because maybe I shouldn't be out here playing with these big kids. But I touched the ball. And if I could touch it, I could catch it. And so what this quote taught me right away, the first thing it taught me is it addressed the limiting belief of doubt. You see, I knew right away that ball was coming high and I had to reach to get it, and it made me uncomfortable, and I didn't believe in that moment that I was going to catch it. So my actions lived up to my doubts. My hands touched it. I missed it. I thought, well, I gave it the old try. I gave it my best effort, but I didn't come up with a catch. And it was because I doubted. And I was reminded that if I could touch it, I could catch it. And that gave me a little bit of hope that the next time the ball came to me, that if I touched it, I'm going to catch it. That it was possible that I could catch it. It wasn't impossible. The second thing that I learned from this was taking responsibility, taking ownership for my actions. Now, you see, the quarterback threw a ball that was high up. It wasn't right here where I like it, right here. It wasn't here. It wasn't here. It was way up here where I had to jump. And it was not where I normally like to catch it. Well, guess what? In life, that's going to happen. Everything doesn't work out perfectly. You're not going to get the ball where you always want the ball. You're not going to get the opportunity when you want that opportunity or what opportunity it is. It's just going to be there, and you're going to have to reach for it. You're going to have to go after it. And there are some things you're going to drop the ball. You're going to give it your best effort. You're going to reach out. You are going to touch it, and you're going to drop it. And when you drop it, are you going to do what I did and go back to the quarterback and say, hey, you threw that ball too high. Next time a little lower, right here where I like it? It doesn't work that way. you've got to be ready to catch the ball where it's thrown, and you may have to go to get it, but more importantly, if you drop it, you've got to take ownership of it. You take ownership of that with your family. You take ownership of it in yourself. And like they do on the court, you'll see in a basketball court, when a bad pass happens, you'll see it all the time now. You'll see people, the player wave, or he'll point to himself, he'll touch his heart and say, my bad. You need to step up and take ownership of when you drop the pass. Mom. Yeah, I might have gotten a little mad. In this particular one, I wasn't. I was a new kid. Wasn't anything to get mad about. I was the new guy. I was just glad they threw the ball to me. And the third thing, not only do you need to take responsibility and take ownership of your actions, but the third thing I learned from this is dropping that pass and hearing, if you can touch it, you can catch it. It made me want to get better. It motivated me to get better. Now the quarterback didn't say, hey, LaRue, you stink. You're too small. Go sit down over there and watch the game. We don't need you. No, he said, if you can touch it, you can catch it. And that was a motivator for me, that I could touch it, and that I could catch it, and that I will catch the ball from now on. I'll do everything in my power to catch that ball. What about you? What about you? How does that motivate you to get better? What quote like this from your story helps you to get better, that motivates you every day to take that step? Whether it's in your business, whether it's being a parent, whether it's growing in your faith, whether it's being a good employee, how do you get better? What motivates you to get better? And a lot of times, it's the failures of dropped passes. And a reminder from those to say, hey, if you can touch it, you can catch it. So, this week, put on your steel toes. Here's your steel toes action for this week. When was the last time you dropped the ball and didn't take responsibility for dropping the ball? When was the last time you did that? And who do you need to go to? You need to drop that. You need to drop that. You need to take ownership. You know what? Here's what you're going to experience this week. You're going to experience opportunities. You're going to have your fingertips on passes, and you're going to have to stretch. And you know what? We make mistakes. We're human. You're going to drop the ball. My challenge to you this week is, instead of looking for reasons why, just take ownership and responsibility for the team. The team's counting on you to catch the ball, first off. They're also counting on you to set the example when you don't. Because if you blame others when you drop the ball, your team, when they drop the ball, they're going to blame others too. Set the example. And so there it is. There's your hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. Again, going back, the story of my days in youth. If you can touch it, you can catch it. Referring to catching a pass in football. What does that look like in your life and business? And now, it's time to wrap this up with a blessing. I pray the blessing of bread that you know no hunger. I pray the blessing of salt, that your life would be flavorful and that you would be flavorful to others. I pray the blessing of wine, that joy and prosperity would be yours, and that the love of God would be your portion this day and forevermore. So this week, go out there and make a difference. Go out there and build your teams up, take responsibility, fight doubt, and also be motivated to get better, because you know what? I believe in you, and if you can touch it, you can catch it. This is Dennis LaRue with your hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week, number 37. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.